Hello everyone, so recently I've been testing out abilities and wondered, how does ability damage work? Prior to the evolution of combat, damage was calculated based off strength bonus from a variety of different things such as weapons, armor, potion effects, and even prayer. From the release of Evolution of Combat, the whole combat system was given a new overhaul which changed the way damage is determined. Now the calculation is much different than before, though some mechanics from the old combat system still retains in the new one. For example, higher level weapon tiers deal more damage, but weapon speed of the same class level has the same damage output. So chaotic weapons of level 80 will deal more damage than crystal weapons of level 70, and a chaotic spear has the same damage output as dual wielding chaotic rapiers. Now one question that comes to mind is what affects ability damage. There are many characteristics that define how damage works, from stat levels, weapons, potion boosts, etc. In order to find out how much damage abilities deal, we can look at the ability tab in the character status screen, which shows the base damage of abilities at 100%. Now how can you determine the formula used in ability damage? Since there are 3 different combat types, this means 3 formulas are needed to calculate for melee, range, and magic. The Runescape Wiki ability damage page lists all the formulas for each style of combat and if using main hand, offhand, or two-handed weapons. For melee main hand weapon, the calculation is 2.5 multiplied by strength level plus weapon damage multiplied by weapon speed plus 1 multiplied by strength bonus. Offhand melee weapon is 1.25 multiplied by strength level plus weapon damage multiplied by weapon speed plus 0.5 multiplied by strength bonus. Two-handed melee weapon is 3.75 multiplied by strength level plus weapon damage multiplied by weapon speed plus 1.5 multiplied by strength bonus. Weapon speed for melee can be average, fast, or fastest. Average speed will be 94 divided by 149 with an attack interval of 3.6 seconds. Fast speed is 960 divided by 1225 with an attack interval of 3 seconds. Fastest speed uses 1 with an attack interval of 2.4 seconds. To find the weapon damage for a particular weapon, this can be done by hovering over the weapon itself, and the description box will show its stats. Say for example, if using a chaotic spear for combat and by using the formula to input the data would be 3.75 multiplied by 99 plus 1788 multiplied by 96 divided by 149 equals to 1523 rounded down. Keep in mind this is with level 99 strength and with no boosting gear. Moving on to range, the calculation for main hand weapon is 2.5 multiplied by range level plus the minimum level of 9.6 multiplied by weapon level, or 1 multiplied by ammo damage, plus 1 multiplied by range bonus. Offhand range weapon is 1.25 multiplied by range level plus the minimum level of 4.8 multiplied by weapon level, or 0.5 multiplied by ammo damage, plus 0.5 multiplied by range bonus. Two-hand range calculation is 3.75 multiplied by range level plus the minimum level of 14.4 multiplied by weapon level, or 1.5 multiplied by ammo damage, plus 1.5 multiplied by range bonus. Ability damage for range is sort of similar to melee, except instead of weapon damage to calculate, this is substituted for weapon level or ammo damage depending on which of the two is lower level. For instance, if using a royal crossbow along with royal bolts, then the calculation would be 3.75 multiplied by 99 plus 14.4 multiplied by 80, or 3.75 multiplied by 99 plus 1.5 multiplied by 768 equals to 1523 rounded down. Again, keep in mind this is with level 99 range and with no boosting gear. Now the question is, does weapon level and type of ammo matter for range? The answer is yes. If using level 80 range weapon with level 90 ammunition, then the calculation for damage is taken from the weapon. However, if using level 80 range weapon with level 60 ammunition, then the calculation for damage is taken from the ammo instead. Lastly, for magic, the calculation for main hand is 2.5 multiplied by magic level plus the minimum level of 9.6 multiplied by weapon level, or 1 multiplied by spell damage, plus 1 multiplied by magic bonus. Offhand magic formula is 1.25 multiplied by magic level plus the minimum level of 4.8 multiplied by weapon level, or 0.5 multiplied by spell damage, plus 0.5 multiplied by magic bonus. Two-hand calculation for magic is 3.75 multiplied by magic level plus the minimum level of 14.4 multiplied by weapon level, or 1.5 multiplied by spell damage, plus 1.5 multiplied by magic bonus. The formulas for both range and magic are similarly the same as compared to the formula for melee. Magic uses either weapon level or spell damage depending on which of the two is lower. For example, if using a chaotic staff with the spell Air Surge, then the calculation would be 3.75 multiplied by 99 plus 14.4 multiplied by 80, or 1.5 multiplied by 768 equals to 1523 rounded down. This is with 99 magic and no boosting gear. In order to find the spell damage for a particular spell, this can be found by hovering over the damage value in the offensive tab in the character status screen. Magic spells work quite differently than ammunition for range in that instead of tiered levels for damage, each elemental spell for that group type deals the same amount of damage and scales with level. Air Surge deals the same damage as Fire Surge despite being level 81 while the other is level 95. Air Surge starts at 768 spell damage but will scale to 864 at level 90 magic, which is the same as Fire Surge. Now that I've explained all the formulas, we can move on to calculating how damage work with abilities. So to calculate how much damage an ability can deal, we take the ability damage number and multiply this by the ability's modifier. For instance, the ability Slice deals up to 110% weapon damage. If using tier 80 melee weapons with a base ability damage of 1523 at level 99 strength, the maximum hit with Slice will deal 1675. However, Slice may not always deal 110% damage as stated in the ability description. Basic abilities can deal anywhere from 20% to 100% of maximum damage. This means Slice will deal any damage from 304 at minimum up to 1675 at maximum. Another example in this case is the ability Dismember, which deals up to 188% weapon damage. Although the description states deals up to 188% weapon damage over 6 seconds, the ability is the same equivalent as Combust for magic and Fragmentation Shot for range. Dismember can deal anywhere from 100 to 188% weapon damage over 6 seconds and does 5 hits in total, which means Dismember can deal 304 to 572 damage with a total damage of 1523 to 2863. Now what about critical hits? How does this factor into ability damage? If an ability deals a critical hit, then the ability will hit for 95 to 100% of its maximum damage for abilities. So if Slice deals 1645 for a critical hit, then the damage dealt is 98% of the maximum of 1675 with a base ability damage of 1523. Keep in mind that damage for abilities can hit even under the minimum but still be within range of the percentage, such as hitting 294 with the ability Rack even though the minimum damage at 20% is 304 damage. Rack at 94% will deal 1431 damage approximately, but if we take 294 divided by 1431, then the answer is 0.2053, which is still 20% damage. So to conclude my analysis, overall ability damage is very handy to know if trying to figure out the best damage per second with abilities, and this can be vital in combat like bossing or player versus player. The new combat update can be difficult to comprehend at first, but learning and understanding the basics is key to improving. And as always, thanks for watching and have an awesome day.